Good afternoon. This practice is a strengthening practice, but without too much weight bearing for hands and wrists, and not too much work with the feet. I have a friend and a student who has pain in hands and feet, but is a strong, really strong lady. So this practice is for anyone that wants to strengthen, but without the pressure on the hands. And you know, in yoga, most strengthening practices, there's a lot of dog and plank and that kind of thing. So this is without too much of that kind of thing. It's good for everybody, but it caters for that requirement as well, the non-weight bearing. So we start supine for this. So semi-supine. And as always, just allow yourself to arrive with a few breaths here. You take a moment to steady yourself, to regulate your breath. Begin to let go of your day, your thoughts, your worries. And then when you feel ready, bring the knees in towards you. So you come into Tapanasana. So really simple, you wrap the arms around. You maybe squeeze in on your exhale and move away, expand on your inhale. Good. And then when you feel ready, we come into strengthening the center. So the hands come around behind the head. And as we exhale, we draw in. Now try and lift your sacrum and your shoulders. So you really squeeze to your center. This is your exhale. And then on your inhale, you soften down just a little bit. Exhale again and squeeze in. And inhale and soften. Squeeze, exhale. And inhale. Again the same, squeeze. Make sure you're not pulling on your neck here, you're just supporting your head with your hands. Lift the sacrum. And then again. Okay, now we'll add into this, we squeeze in, exhale. On your inhale, send your right leg away. Now if this feels too strong, you can go back to that first variation. Exhale, and again, lift the sacrum, lift the shoulders. Inhale the left leg. Exhale again. Inhale the right. Exhale again. Inhale left. And exhale. Let's do one more each side. Lift the sacrum. Left leg, inhale. And exhale. Now hold it here. Lift your sacrum a little higher. Take a breath. And then release your feet all the way down. So you come back to semi-supine. Check the alignment of your feet. So you want your feet to be hip distance, your heels very close in towards your pelvis. And when you feel ready, you press down into your feet and you lift your hips. So Setu Bandhasana. You press down, you lift up. You can place the fingers or the hands to the floor beside you. Now roll down, but just some of the way. So let's go 3/4 of the way. So you put down your upper back, your middle back, and your lower back, but you don't put down your sacrum. You create a posterior pelvic tilt. So you curl the tail up, keep the sacrum off the ground, but you try and drop the back of the waist all the way down. And then we come up again. We press into the feet. You squeeze behind your hips, your hip extensors, to help you lift and open the front of your hips, your belly space. Hold for a moment, and then you do the same. You come 3/4 of the way down. So this is upper back, middle back, lower back. Keep the pelvic tilt, the posterior pelvic tilt. Pause here. And then again, press the feet and come up. Try and lift a little bit higher, so you squeeze behind your hips. And then again, upper back, middle back, curl the tail towards the ceiling, put the lower back down, but try and keep the sacrum and the pelvis lifted. And then again, press down, squeeze behind your hips, lift up. Lift a little bit higher. Coming down again, so upper back, middle back, lower back. With the pelvic tilt, hold it for a moment. And then one last time, press the feet, lift up, come a little bit higher for this last one. Really squeeze behind your hips. You feel the work here behind your hips and your hip extensors and your buttocks muscles. You hold a little bit higher if you can. Make sure you're still breathing. And then again, slowly come down, upper back, middle back, lower back. And this time, you can release the sacrum down as well. And the sensations there should feel good as you just let go of the effort. You release into the floor. You take a breath. And then when you're ready, you bring your knees in towards you and you give yourself a hug again. As you squeeze the knees in, you'll feel the release there, through there. The back body, from behind your hips, your buttocks muscles. We bring ourselves up to sitting. You can roll over onto your side to come up if you like, or you can roll up. You can take any seat that's comfortable for you. So if this doesn't work, if this is uncomfortable for your feet or your ankles, you can put the legs out straight. You can use a cushion or some support. We're going to do a breathing practice that helps to strengthen the respiratory system. So you just need to be in a place where you can sit tall, where you can lengthen your spine. You open your belly space and your chest. Relax your shoulders. Find your breath. So long inhale. And then a long exhale. And just two more the same. So long inhale. And long exhale. And again. Okay, now this time it's a huge inhalation and we'll retain the breath. So the biggest breath in that you can. Hold it in. Exhale slowly. And then repeat. So huge inhale. Retain the breath. Exhale slowly. Good. One more time. Inhale. Retain. Exhale. Good. You take a breath here. Notice how you feel. Good. And then we transition over. We're coming onto our knees and our forearms. So it's like a forearm cat-cow. So you align your elbows underneath your shoulders. You spread out your hands. Your forearms are parallel, shoulder distance apart. And we start to mobilize the spine. So you exhale and you draw your tail under. You look in towards your navel. You contract your abdomen towards your spine. You hold it there. And then you inhale and you open. Now there's spinal extension here. So look to draw the breastbone forward, open the heart space. And then repeat. Keep this nice and slow if you can. You can pause in each phase, each shape, and take an extra breath if you prefer to do this way. Or you can exhale to make this shape, the flexion. And you can inhale, moving in this direction to make the extension. Let's do 3 more. And again. Good. Sit back and into child's pose. So you come back and onto your heels, you reach your arms forward, you rest your head down. And a long inhale. Breathing into your back. So really feeling the back ribs open. Feel that you're breathing into the posterior part of your lungs. Good. And then bring yourself back up and into the same position. So on your forearms again. And we're going to bring the right knee in towards the face and the face towards the right knee. So you're squeezing in towards your center. Take your nose towards your knee. Keep your knee off the floor. Keep your foot off the floor and squeeze in. And then see if you can squeeze in a little bit more as you exhale. Inhale, soften a little bit. Exhale, squeeze in. Soften, inhale, squeeze in. Inhale, soften, squeeze in, exhale. One more time. Good, now the other way. So you take the leg up and back, press the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. And see if you can press a little more as you exhale. Release slightly as you inhale. And again. Two more. You just feel tone here. Your hamstrings, behind the hip again, so glutes and hip extensors, relaxing down when it feels like enough, and just drop back into child's pose. So you feel again release. And then again for the other side. So your left knee comes in. Try and keep the foot off the floor so you can plantar flex your foot, point your toes, squeeze in. And then 5 times we just squeeze a little more strongly. So it's on the exhale in. Release away slightly on your inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good, up and back. And you press again the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. So this time the foot is in dorsiflexion. And again, you exhale, press. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. And 2 more. Hold it. And then release and sit back again. Just tease out the stresses there. Rest your head down. You can bring yourself into a prone position. So you come all the way down and onto your belly. We'll stretch the legs back behind us and the arms out in front of us, put the forehead on the floor. And wiggle out a little bit longer. And then on your inhale, lift your right arm and your left leg together. Really lengthen. And then exhale, lower. And then again. Other side. So left arm, right leg. And lower down. And again. Nice and slow. So left arm, right leg, inhale. Again. Again. One more each side. And then again. Good. Rest down. And breathe into your back. And then try and lift the front body. So you lift your head and your chest. So you inhale up. If you can, you take your fingertips away from the floor, but keep the legs reaching back and the feet pressing down. And then lower. Good. And now the legs. So you lead the head down. You inhale, lift your legs. And you exhale down. Good. Again. Legs. And twice more. And legs. Once more. And legs. Good. You take a breath here. You bring yourself up and onto your forearms and back into your forearm table, and you flex your spine. So you draw your tail under, really releasing any tension or compression from that last exercise. So the tail is under, the navel is towards the spine. You look in towards your center squeeze. You can take a big breath into your back. And then sit back on your heels and child's pose. You take as long here as you need to feel that you really decompress, you really release any tension or pressure from your back. And then you're coming over onto your left side so that your right leg is on the top. As much as we can, we bring ourselves into a straight line here. So try not to have the butt too far back and the legs too far forward. Straight line if you can. You can lay all the way down on your arms so you're not putting too much weight on your hand. Try and reach out through your legs and activate. And then draw the legs up if you can. So you're just bringing some strengthening, some tone into the side of your body. Legs up. And then see if for 5 you can just lift a little bit higher. So you press up, release down just slightly, press up, and down slightly, and 3 more times. So I'm pressing up on the exhale, down slightly on the inhale. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Now I'm going to bend the knees, flex the hips. And I'm stacking my top knee directly over my lower knee. My ankles are together. This alignment here is really important. Your pelvis needs to be here neutral. So try not to let the top hip or the top knee fall back. So roughly we are here. And we're keeping the feet together, lifting the top knee. Now, be really careful that as you lift that top knee, you're not throwing the weight back. Okay, so this hip stays exactly where it is, and you lift. Good. Okay, now again, so press up a little bit higher as you exhale. Release just slightly, inhale. Press. Press. Again. Once more. And hold it here if you can. Lift a little bit higher until you just start to feel your external rotators here singing. So you feel this in the outer hip. And then when it feels like enough, we turn over onto our backs and we bring this right leg into a reclined pigeon pose. So you're here, right ankle on the left thigh. And if we can, we bring the legs in and we feel this opening, this stretch here in the lateral part of the hip. You can bind around. And take a breath or 2 here. Good. And then we'll strengthen into the center again. So the hands are coming behind the head, but you're supporting your head in your hands rather than pulling on your head. And as you exhale, you lift your sacrum and you lift your shoulders. Inhale down. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. And squeeze. Hold it for a second. And then release. Good. You come over onto the other side, so you're laying on your right side with your left leg on top. I'm going to switch ends so that I'm not turning my back to you, but you can just turn over. And again, we try and find this nice alignment here, so we're in a nice straight line. And we're lifting the legs. Good. And we press a little higher. You should feel the side waist. And again. And again. 2 more. And 1 more. Hold it for a second. Really press out through the feet. And then bending. Hips and knees. Stacking the knees. Make sure that the top hip is right over the lower hip, so you're not letting that top hip fall back. And we lift the top leg. Remember not to move the pelvis at all as you lift that top leg. Hold it. And then lift. Lower slightly. Lift. Lower slightly. Lift. Lower slightly. Last one. Hold it. Until you feel that little quiver of effort in the outer hip. And then we're coming over and into reclined pigeon again. So it's left ankle on the right thigh. Dorsiflex your left foot. Try and square your pelvis. Take a breath. You feel that lovely opening, that contrasting sensation in the outer hip. And then when you're ready, you bring the hands around behind the head. And it's those 5 little squeezes into your center. So as you exhale, try and lift your sacrum, lift your shoulders, squeeze in. And then as you inhale, release away slightly. 4 more. Good, 2 more. Exhale. And inhale. Last one. Hold it here. Lift the tail a little higher. Lift the shoulders a little bit higher. And then release all the way down. Good. Okay, now we're bringing the knees in towards us. You might hug in here and balance out your 2 sides. And then we're taking the legs straight up. So this is Supta Dandasana. Now I'm going to give you 2 variations for this. The first is a little easier. So you can bend your knees if your hamstrings are tight or if your back feels vulnerable. You want to keep your knees over your hips and a right angle right here at the knee. Dorsiflex your feet. And we're touching down with one heel. So it's here. Okay, and then we come back up again. And then we do the other side. What we're not doing is closing this angle at the knee and bringing the heel in. Okay, so this stays, this right angle, this 90 degrees, it stays the same. And you exhale slowly, the leg forward. So it's the thigh, it's the femur that's moving, and you touch down. And then you come back up. Okay, and then touch down, other side. Keep the back nice and strong. So this is navel to spine. And you come back in. Okay, so that's your first variation. Second is to do this with straight legs from here, like leg raises. So here we exhale. And we inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Okay, again, I'll show you the bent leg version. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Lower back really strong. Inhale. Take a break if you need to. We're doing 3 more, straight legs or bent legs. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You can hug into Apanasana if you feel that you need a rest from these. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Just one more to each side. Last one. Good. Bend the knees, hug in. We have one more to do from here. Again, there are 2 variations. The first is with straight legs. The second you can do with bent legs. And we're taking the legs wide this time. So we're bringing some tone into the inner leg lines. Okay, so the first variation is to take the legs wide from here. The second variation is to take the legs wide from here. Okay, and as we exhale, we come part way in. So it's a squeeze through your inner leg lines, through your adductors, just part way. So you feel the squeeze. And then don't drop the legs, but lower them again. We do that 4 more times. So squeeze, exhale. And inhale. Squeeze. And inhale. Squeeze. And inhale. Again, squeeze. Hold it there. And then release into the stretch again. Take a breath here, last one. And then very, very slowly draw your legs in towards each other. There's a little shakiness in the inner leg lines. You might just hear maybe plantarflex, dorsiflex your feet. Hug your knees in towards you. Maybe rock side to side, just massage your back, left and right of your spine. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself down into semi-supine or into Shavasana. We allow the body to rest here for a moment or two. So some strengthening for your body while allowing your wrists and hands, your feet and ankles to rest a little bit. Just allowing your breath in your relaxation to lengthen. Feeling that with your inhales, you open space in your body, you expand with your inhalation. And with your exhalation, you let go of any tension or stress. It's really important in our yoga practice that we can tailor our practice to suit our requirements on that day. So we can still practice if our hands and our wrists are sore. We can still practice if we feel that the ankle, or the knee, or the hip, or the back is sore. We find a way of not forcing the body to work when it needs to rest, but a way of resting what needs to be rested whilst working the rest of the body. So we still feel empowered, we still feel strong, even while we're allowing injuries to heal. You take another 2 or 3 breaths here. Each inhale feels nourishing, and each exhale just soothing away any stresses or tensions. When you feel that you are ready, you can take your stretches and take your time. Just move and mobilize the body as you feel you need to. And then in your own time and your own way, bring yourself slowly back up to sitting. And we'll bring our hands in front of our hearts. We'll take a bow forward and thank our bodies for today's practice. Slowly up when you're ready. Namaste. Thank you.